Hello and welcome, beautiful souls, to my podcast Midlife Bahareh, where we embrace the spirit of continuous rebirth and celebrate the wonders of midlife transformations one episode at a time. I am your curious host, Bahareh, and I couldn't be more excited to embark on this journey of self-reflection, lifelong learning, healing, authenticity, and acting to continuously elevate our lives from ordinary to extraordinary with you all. If you're in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, or in the midst of a midlife adventure, or simply seeking inspiration from all walks of life to invigorate your soul, join me in this real life podcast. Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back to Midlife Bahareh. What if I told you that every person, every challenge, and every situation in your life is simply a mirror? I mean it. That friend who keeps letting you down, that frustrating coworker, the same relationship issues showing up again and again, even that incredible, joyful moment. These are all reflections of you, my friend. I know. It sounds kind of wild, right? But here's the thing. Science, psychology, and spirituality, all of them point to the same truth. Your outer world reflects your inner world. The way you see yourself, the beliefs you hold, especially the ones buried deep in your subconscious, constantly shaping your reality. Let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say two people lose their jobs. One sees it as failure, falls into self-doubt, and spirals into fear. The other one, they see it as an opportunity, maybe an even sign from the universe to finally go after what they truly desire. Same situation, but their internal beliefs shape two completely different realities. Does that resonate? Now let's take this idea even further. I want you to think about what happens when you look into an actual mirror. If you stand there in front of the mirror frowning, does the mirror smile back? No, it doesn't, because the mirror reflects back exactly what you're putting in front of it. If you want to see something different, you must change first. You must smile first before the reflection change the mirror. Life works the same way. If you keep seeing the same negative pattern in your relationships, your career, or day-to-day experiences, it is not that it's happening to you. It is reflecting something within you. And the best part is, once you understand the mirror, you have the power to change what is being reflected. You don't have to stay stuck in the same patterns. You don't have to keep attracting the same experiences. In today's episode, we are going to dive deep. We are going to talk about the science behind this, the spiritual perspective, and most importantly, how you can start using this awareness to shift your reality. And of course, we are going to do it in a very simple language. Are you ready? Grab that pen and paper, a cup of coffee or tea, or whatever you desire, and get into it. Okay, so we've talked about how life is a mirror. How does that actually work? Is this just a mindset shift, or is there something deeper happening? This is where things get real mind-blowing. So let's start with the quantum physics, which is my favorite topic. And that's the science of how things work at the tiniest, most fundamental level. And guess what? The deeper scientists go, the weirder and more magical the universe seems to be. And at the core of everything, you, me, the chair I'm sitting on, the thoughts running through our mind are just all energy. Nothing is truly solid. Everything is made of vibrating energy fields. And here's where it gets really wild. Scientists discovered something called the observer effect, which basically means the way we look at something actually changes how that thing operates and behaves. So the scientists did an experiment that is called double slit experiment. And what they found was that tiny particles don't even take a defined shape until someone is actually looking at them for a very long time. Let that sink in. I know, it gets really wild. So the simple act of focusing your attention literally, literally shapes your reality. But it doesn't stop there. Some scientists believe that we live in what is called a holographic universe. You know, the holographic photos where every pixel has the information about the entire photo? That's our universe, which means that everything we see is like a giant projection. And guess who's projecting it? Our consciousness. Isn't that mind blowing? Like every time I read this, I'm like, wow, only if I had this information 30 years ago. But hey, we are here to learn, we are here to grow. There's no judgment, it is just self-love and growth. So our beliefs, our emotions, our expectations are shaping what we see, what we experience, and what we attract to our lives. Let me give you a real life example. Have you ever noticed when you're in a great mood, everything simply flows? The barista is extra friendly with that cup of coffee. Traffic seems to part for you. People just seem nicer. But if you wake up in a bad mood, suddenly everything starts going wrong. Traffic is awful, people annoy you all day long, and you attract one frustrating thing after another. So my friend, that is not random. That is the mirror in action. Your internal state, the energy you're carrying, shapes what reflects back at you. If you walk around believing that people cannot be trusted, you'll keep finding proof of that. Whether it is through attracting unworthy people or misinterpreting innocent situations as betrayals. The world isn't happening to you. And that's the point. It is responding to you. And once you get this, once you start looking at your life through this lens, everything changes. Everything. So if the universe is mirroring and reflecting your internal world back to you, the next question is, what is the universe trying to show you? And here's the part that no one really tells you. Not everything the mirror reflects is easy to look at, right? I'm going to pause there for a second. Not everything the universal mirror shows you is easy to look at. Sometimes it shows your growth, how far you've come, how much stronger and wiser you are. But other times, it simply holds up a reflection of the stuff that we rather not see, right? Our fears, our wounds, our old patterns, the stuff we bury deep down and we don't want anyone to know because we'll get scolded, get judged. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists of all time, called this our shadow self. The hidden parts of us we've ignored, rejected, or been conditioned to suppress. But just because we push something down doesn't mean that it's going to stop influencing our lives. It usually gets a lot louder right in front of us through the people we come across and the situations we attract. Have you ever wondered why the same kind of frustrations keep coming up in your life? Maybe you keep attracting people who don't respect your boundaries. It's easy to say, people are just taking advantage of me all the time. But what if the mirror is showing you something completely different and much, much deeper? What if, deep down, you struggle to set boundaries, my friend, because you don't believe your needs are that important, or because you don't think you're worthy of being respected? Maybe growing up, you were taught to be nice and to put others first, people pleasing tendencies. So now, without even realizing it, you hesitate to say no when you really want to say no. So life continues to send you situations that is going to bring that belief back that I'm not worthy of respect, I'm not worthy of boundaries. Or let's say you've been dreaming of success, whether it's starting a new business, finding love, or finally taking care of yourself. Somehow, every time you get close, you pull back, you procrastinate, you self-sabotage. What if the mirror is reflecting back a belief that you didn't know it was even there? Maybe something like, I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve this. The thing is that, again, life is not happening to you. It is happening for you, and it's reflecting what you put out there. It keeps showing you these patterns not to punish you, my friend. Universe is our friend. Universe loves us. It keeps showing these patterns to you not to punish you, but to wake you up, to give you a chance to finally see what has been running in the background and give you the chance or the option to choose something different. And the moment you see the pattern for what it really is, you stop feeling powerless. I don't want to say I almost guarantee it, but I have been there. I know it can happen. You stop repeating the same cycles. You get to say, wait a second, I don't have to play this role anymore. I can change the reflection in the mirror. That's the beauty of shadow work. It's not about judgment. It's about freedom and accepting all parts of us so we can become whole. So, how do you actually do this? Why don't we dive into some practical tools that you can start using today, my friends? I want you to start by noticing what triggers you. And that is your fastest clue. Your biggest emotional triggers can't be random. They're simply clues. So think of every frustration, every annoyance, every time someone really gets under your skin. And that's the mirror trying to show you something. Instead of reacting, what I want you to do is pause for a moment. If you're standing up, sit down. If you're sitting down, get up and walk around. Don't react. Pause and ask yourself, what is this moment reflecting back to me? What belief, what fear, or what wound might be underneath this? Let's say you're having a conversation and you're getting ignored, and it drives you simply nuts. Instead of just blaming the other person for ignoring you, ask yourself, do I fully listen to myself? Do I value my own voice? Or if somebody else is speaking, am I fully present? Am I listening to them? Another example is whether you feel unappreciated. Is there a part of you that struggles to receive appreciation? Do you ever dismiss compliments or downplay your efforts? This is a big one in my culture. Like every time someone gives you praise, people try to downplay it. And if you really, really accept that, they consider you to be selfish. Our triggers are our fastest way to spot our limiting beliefs and unresolved wounds. Instead of pushing them away, we need to get curious about them because they're showing us exactly where our power lies and waiting to be reclaimed. Once you understand your triggers, I want you to turn it inwards and shift your story. Basically, flip the mirror. You know that feeling? When some frustrating thing keeps happening over and over and over again, the same relationship struggles, the same money issues, it's easy to blame the outside world. Why do people always do this to me? By doing that, you're simply giving your power away to other people. I want you to flip the mirror. Instead of asking, why does this keep happening to me? Ask yourself, where am I doing this to myself? How am I unconsciously playing a role in this pattern? Another example is, if people don't respect your boundaries, ask yourself, where am I ignoring my own boundaries? Do I say yes when I really mean no out of the fear of disappointing others? Another example is if you always feel unheard, ask yourself, am I fully listening to myself and my needs? Do I dismiss my own feelings before others even get a chance? This isn't about blaming yourself. It is about seeing the pattern and acknowledging the pattern so you can change it. It is simple, but it's not easy. But if you take one step at a time and try to get better 1% every day, it's going to fall into place eventually. Because once you shift what's inside, my friends, the outside world has no choice but to reflect it back. Remember, universe is a mirror. Now, rewrite your script by creating a new reality. Your beliefs are shaping your reality. And if you believe that people always take advantage of you, you'll unconsciously attract situations and people that will reinforce that belief. If you believe I'm not good enough, you're unknowingly blocking opportunities that prove otherwise. The good news is that you can rewrite that script. Once you recognize the limiting belief, you can flip it into a new empowering one that reflects the reality you actually want to experience. Identify the old story. What negative belief is shaping your experience now? Then take it and flip it. What is the opposite, more empowering version of this belief? And then repeat it until it feels true. This is how you rewrite your subconscious, by retraining it. I always attract people who don't respect me, versus I set clear boundaries and attract people who honor who I am. I'm not good enough to be successful. I'm capable, worthy, and success flows to me effortlessly and with ease. At first, your mind is going to resist this because you've lived in the other way for so many years. It is used to the old belief, and that's normal. Be kind to yourself. But the more you repeat the new ones, the new beliefs, and rewriting it and repeating it to yourself, the more your external world will shift and start to reflect back the new you to you. Because here's the truth. Your brain believes what you tell it the most. So start telling it your new story that is going to support the life you actually want. Another thing you can do is write it down so you can see it. You can't change what you don't see. So bring your unconscious to the light through journaling. A lot of the beliefs that are running our lives are not conscious. They were picked up from childhood, past experiences, society, family, and now they're shaping what is reflected back to you. If you start shadow journaling, remember shadow is our dark side. So once you start shadow journaling and bringing to light the darker side of yourself, this would be one of the fastest ways for you to bring your hidden patterns to the surface. Because once you see them, you can shift them. And here's how you can do it. Very simple way. Identify a trigger. What moment frustrated you, hurt you, or annoyed you today? What is this showing to me? Ask yourself that question. What belief or pattern might be underneath what I'm experiencing right now? Shift it. How can I see this situation differently? What is the new belief that I can adopt? For example, if your boss dismisses your ideas in a meeting, the old belief would be, my voice is not heard. My voice doesn't matter. Nobody listens to me. The new belief would be, I have valuable ideas and I express them with confidence. Or you may be in a relationship and you may feel unseen. The old belief would be that people don't prioritize me. But you can change that belief by saying, I'm worthy of love and I attract people who value me. Journaling is not dwelling in the past, my friend. It is about bringing awareness to what is shaping your reality so you can choose differently. Once you become aware of the pattern, it loses its power over you. Sometimes the thought comes to me that is not really supporting me. So what I do is say, hey, I see you, I recognize you, but this is not the time for you. I'll get back to you. So find something that works for you. But once you understand that shadow part of you, when it's coming up, when it's showing itself, you can control it and then you can get your power back. Now I want to embody the future by acting as if. The universe reflects who you are, not just what you want. So if you want to be, do, have, you have to change the person you want to be. If you want your external world to shift, you have to start showing up as the new version of yourself who already has what you want. And this is not about faking it to making it. It's about aligning your energy with the reality of what you want to create. How do you do that? Get clear on who that version of you is. Remember in the previous episode, I said one of the focuses of 2025 should be understanding the person you want to be and showing up as that person. So what does the you that already has everything that you want would think, believe, and do? Then you start showing up that way now by shifting your habits, by shifting your choices, and changing your mindset to reflect your reality, your new identity. For example, do you want to attract love? Stop waiting for someone to complete you. Show up as someone who loves themselves and knows that they're worthy of deep love and affection. You want to be successful? Don't wait for permission. Start making decisions like someone who trusts in their abilities and acts with confidence. Does it mean you have to make drastic changes? No. Take one step at a time. Remember, 1% better every day. You're not competing with anyone else. You're exactly where you need to be. So you're competing to become the next version of yourself. Want more peace? Instead of hoping life slows down, move through your day as if peace is already yours by taking smaller action. Your reality shifts after your energy does. The more you embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire, the faster the mirror of life will start reflecting it back at you. You hold the power, my friends. The universe isn't testing you, and it's not punishing you. It is simply reflecting you back to you. And that means you are never stuck. Because the moment you shift what is inside of you, your external world must follow. So, the next time you feel stuck, don't ask, why is this happening to me? I am so unlucky. Instead, ask yourself, what is this showing me? How can I shift the reflection? The power is in your hands. The universe is always responding to your energy. What you believe is what you see. What you embody is what you attract. So the question is, who do you want to become? And if you're ready to go deeper, to break free from the old patterns, and to finally align with the life you know you're meant for, I would love to be your partner. Book a clarity call with me today, and let's uncover what is holding you back and how you can shift to your next level. This is your moment to start seeing yourself, my friend, and your life differently. Click in the show notes or go to my page, www.sageinyu.com to book your clarity call. Until next time, keep reflecting, keep growing, and remember, you're always in the driver's seat of your reality. I am Bahareh, the Sage in You coach, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out. Now let's get the legal stuff out of the way. Midlife a la Bahareh is a personal podcast. All content is provided strictly for general information, education, and entertainment purposes. Any views or opinions represented in this podcast are personal and do not represent those of people, institutions, or organizations that the owner may or may not be associated with professionally or personally, unless explicitly stated. Any views or opinions are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, or individual. Any use of the information from this podcast or material linked to it, whether to the podcast or website, is undertaken at the user's own discretion and risk. It is not intended to serve as a replacement for guidance from a qualified expert, nor is it meant for diagnosis or treatment. Thank you for supporting my podcast.